everybody, it's Lady Mal, and you all know my daddy, LaGojiLupus. Today we're doing something kind of different. We're doing a question answer sort of thing. I don't know what questions he's going to ask me, and he doesn't know what questions I'm going to ask him. So we're just going to go with this and see how it goes. Yeah, there's no telling how this is going to turn out. So my first question for you is, when and how did you know you were a Therian?
All right, Therian. How did I first know? Well, other than liking my food on the extremely rare side, trust me, for those of you that are kind of wondering, do you like your steaks a bit on the rare? I mean, Pittsburgh looks like it just got the bad tan. That might be a tip. Um, it was just something I've always known. Kind of like that whole how do people know if they're bi or not? It's not something you just kind of get into. You always know, or you don't know at all. It's not something you can fake.
Um, for those of you that don't know what a Therian is, why don't you explain to them exactly what that means?
Therian is a human, my personal interpretation, is somebody that feels that within themselves they have an animal, specifically wolf, for me.
But it can be really anything. I've seen everything from wolves to giraffes.
Don't call me a fucking furry. I swear to Christ. I am not afraid. I don't get off by looking at Brutus Buckeye or high school mascots. The Timberwolf, no. It ain't any of that crazy shit.
But it's okay if you are a furry. You know, I don't have anything against furries, but some kinks I just can't get into.
I have nothing against furries, but most people think Therian equals furry. Therian does not equal furry. Furry does not equal Therian. Kind of like gays and transgender. Just just because a guy likes guys doesn't mean that he likes to wear frilly underwear and bras and everything else. That kind of distinction.
Okay, now you can ask me a question.
I didn't prepare. I was planning on you asking your 5 and then I'll come up with 5.
Okay, fine then. Okay. Some people I've seen, like on FetLife and in general conversations, say that it's unmanly to be a switch. How do you, how do you deal with that sort of sentiment? Besides flipping off everyone.
All right. I'm a switch. Yep. Those of you that think that it is unmanly or it is uncouth for a dominant to also be a switch, I have one thing to say. Suck on my left nut and make the right one jealous. Because if you're questioning my manhood, take your foot, step on those yellow footprints down up Paris Island or over in Pendleton. Until you're able to be a Marine also, don't even fucking think about questioning my manhood. That's all I got on that one.
Okay. Um, from I know from personal experience that you're very good at autoerotic asphyxiation. Um, and I know why I love it from a submissive's point of view, but why do you like it from like a dominant sadist master daddy alpha point of view?
Wow. Okay, that one's hard to explain. Alright. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Why do I like it? Personally, I could take it or leave it. It's one of those things I'm not too comfortable with. Just simple. I'm very good at it. I am very good at it.
Yeah.
But simple fact of the matter is, part of being a master in itself is being able to say, you know what, I might not be comfortable with that, but I'll try it. Which is also why while we're doing it, I'm always checking on you to make sure that I don't crush your windpipe. That is a very, very big problem, okay? Many times, autoerotic asphyxiation equals death.
Look at David Carradine.
Make sure you know what you're doing. hell, I could tell you how many times I've heard of people dying. You know, people have died in prison and other places because they decided to hang themselves while they're jerking off or getting a blowjob or whatever, and then they die during it. Before taking it too far, think about how you would explain it to the cops. Um, I'm sorry, I was choking her out while I was having sex with her because that was one of her kinks, and then before you know it, I crushed her windpipe, or I completely shredded her carotid and jugular because your nails were a little too sharp. How would you explain that, and how would you possibly get out of capital murder charges? Murder, rape charges, because that would anybody would throw that into rape. Before you do it, know what you're doing, how much pressure to put on. That's that. But yeah, it's very much a. I'm not really into it, but I know you like it, so you know what? I'll take one for the team. Besides, you get off. I mean, you end up going from 0 to oh my god, my eyes are rolling into the back of my
Yeah,
fucking head in 10
it
seconds.
pretty much takes me from happy vanilla world to happy super subspace in about that long. And for the record, he doesn't actually cut off my air supply. He presses on both of the large veins in my neck, so it's actually depriving my brain. Yeah, like that. Okay, not on the vlog. Anyway,
I bet you a lot of people are going to watch that over and over again.
probably.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyway, okay, so what I obviously you're a veteran. I have quite a few veterans that I know that are fans. What is your opinion of interrogation or military play?
Two separate things. Military play, you know, get dressed up in the military uniform and enjoy the perks coming from it. Hey, I earned the uniform. That's cool. People got a military fetish. If you didn't serve in the military, go to more like police or something like that. Police, correctional officer, things like that. Don't disgrace the uniform. Side note, one of my biggest pet peeves is to see somebody that did not earn the dress blues wearing dress blues. That's mine. That is some associates of mine. 176,000 people in the United States are on active duty right now in the United States Marine Corps. Active duty, reserve duty. You want to wear the dress blues? Step on the yellow footprints.
You can also, if you know you're into the military play, if you want to be respectful, you could go with something more generic like BDUs. They come in every color, every type of camo you can think of. Do BDUs. That doesn't necessarily denote a certain branch, but it does encompass the military feel.
Yeah.
So
You want to do generic military? More power to you. Ladies, submissives, everybody else, you want military fetish? Awesome. Rock on. But take it from me, if you want to see somebody in dress blues, go find a Marine. They'll give you a good time. Interrogation play. I know some of my friends are into it. I am not. That can go from bad to dead fast. We're talking irreparable damage if you don't know what you're doing. And me, I have PTSD. I never deny that. For me to get into interrogation play would open a realm of pain that I don't know if I'd be able to stop. And I don't know if I want to go into capital murder charges, crimes against humanity, things like that. So, no.
and see that's actually a good attitude to have because it falls into the whole safe, sane, consensual thing that I'm always preaching. If your partner has PTSD or whatever, they're military vet, and they've actually had to deal with actual interrogations and they're not okay, don't push it. Don't do that with them. Have enough respect for them not to put them through that. I would never ask my lovely little daddy here to to do that because I know his issues and I really just don't get into it. But even if I was into it, it'd be one of those, okay, well, I'm going to chunk this. I can live without it. And I just have one more. It's not really a question, it's more of a request from some of my viewers. Um, do you have any advice for doms or daddies or whatever that are just starting out, because they want to hear it from you because you've been in their position. I can only give so much because I have
Because
a
you're the little
vagina.
girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. For those that are looking to get started into some of this stuff, what I do recommend, find a mentor. Find somebody within the scene before you actually start the hardcore training process. Do your background. What is their reputation? Because you can only be as good as the people that are teaching you. If you're being trained by somebody that has a shit reputation, then guess what? You're going to get painted with that as well. If you're trained by somebody that has a very good reputation, you're going to learn a lot of good things. And I can't even believe I'm going to say this. Oh my God. If you can't find somebody in the local scene, hit me up.
He knows what he's doing.
I'll teach you. I'm extremely old school. I believe in a lot of things that a lot of people don't. But that's one of those, you take what you want, take what you need, and discard the rest. All right.
Okay, your turn to ask questions.
You're at like 11 minutes and 28 seconds. How long can this go?
Like 20 minutes.
Okay. Rapid fire questions. I have no sheet of paper because I am not prepared. So I'm going to go with the first things off the top of my head.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
This might take a while. Later.
What made you decide to get into the scene?
Let's see. I've actually talked about this on a vlog before.
Quick recap.
Quick recap. I was in college. I had just broken up with the very abusive man that I was with. I was taking a theater class at the local college, and I ran into a girl who I had kind of talked to a little bit, but nothing really in depth. And she and I started talking and realized that we shared the same abusive ex. Well, we started hanging out, and she helped run the library. I mean, the computer lab in the library at the college. And I noticed that she was on this BDSM site, and I asked her what it was, and she told me. And like I've said before, I've always been a submissive person, and this just kind of piqued my interest, and I pretty much dove in head first.
Excellent.
That is not Mr. Bigglesworth.
But it is Mr. Bigglesworth. Okay.
This is actually Sunday. This is my littlest kitten. Okay.
Okay. Question number 2. Top 5 BDSM flavored movies.
Secretary is my absolute favorite, hands down. Period. BDSM flavored movies. Are there any other ones besides Secretary?
Quills.
Quills was okay. I really never got into the whole Marquis de Sade thing. I don't know. Hellraiser could kind of be BDSM, I guess. I think I got chains and whips and stuff. That's really it. I really don't know any other BDSM flavored movies.
The Story of O.
Never watched the movie. Read the book though. Love the book. The book is awesome. So is the Sleeping Beauty series.
Why are you nibbling on me? Okay, on you go. All right. If you could be any flavor of ice cream, what would it be and why?
What would it? It would be mint chocolate chip because that's my favorite flavor ever, and it's because it's, I don't know, it's sweet and it's green. I don't know.
All right. More of a kind of life question, because I mean, these are questions that they never thought about asking. But hey,
That's true.
if you had 1 year left on this world, say that the asteroid is coming down like Deep Impact, but Elijah Wood didn't discover it, and
Thank
Morgan
God.
Freeman is not president of the United States.
That might be kind of cool.
What would you spend your last year doing, and why?
I would probably pull my child out of school and we would travel. I would go to all the places I wanted to go and haven't been able to go because, I'm pretty sure they'll give you a credit card because it's not like you're going to go into default because everybody's going to be dead. But I would travel. I would, spend time with my family. I would make amends with people that I had problems with, and I would Yeah, I'd make my peace and go with God.
Okay, question number 4. Because I know you've harped on this a little bit off camera.
Okay.
And my God, it's a good thing there's like 5 minutes left on this. What would you say to any submissive? By the way, before anybody thinks about messaging, realize this. I trust my submissive wife, whatever, with every single password I have. She has all the banking accounts. She does everything because of the fact that I am very busy with my life. Start right there. Well, explain what goes through your mind when you hear or see. Oh yeah, she also has all the passwords for my phone too, so don't think you're gonna be slick like that. You hear about some random 18 to 25-year-old idiot thing. Not saying y'all are all idiots, but kind of like my ex.
Yeah.
Some of those along those flavors decide that they're like, oh my God, you're so cute, you're so hot. I live in the general area. I'll come and find you, and we can like totally hook up. Explain what goes through your mind at that instant.
Okay, I'm gonna preface this with this is a side of me that y'all haven't seen. But if any woman thinks that she can come and try to step on this, I will cut you. And I'm not kidding. I worked for 2 years to get this. I worked long and hard. I had to deal with long distance relationships. I had to deal with polyamorous situations. I had to deal with vindictive ex girlfriends, wives, boyfriends, the whole 9 yards. I do not take to people trying to bird dog or poach. It's not cool. It's not funny. If someone says on their Facebook, FetLife, Color Me, whatever, that they are in a monogamous relationship, that should be your first sign that they're not looking for anybody else. And texting them, calling them, messaging them, whatever, and saying, oh, we can hook up and your wife doesn't have to know. Well, guess what? The wife will know. And unfortunately, where I live, it's like drilled into our heads that this is ours. You don't screw with my family. You don't mess with me. You don't mess with my son. You don't mess with my husband. It, period. End of conversation. It's not cute. You're not being flirty. I don't care if you're 19 years old and I'm 36. There's something to be said for life experience. And 9 times out of 10, I look younger than them anyway, so it's okay.
Are you happy now that you got that off your chest, that it wasn't an actual question?
Yeah. But it's not going to change. I'm still going to flip out every time I do it.
You didn't ask, but I'll go ahead and say the same thing. Answer.
Yeah. Same question.
Hit on my wife once, I'll leave it be. Twice, not so happy. I know how to do what I do. Military trained me extremely well. And the good thing about living in Southeast Texas is there's a whole lot of bayou.
Exactly.
Okay, final question.
Last question.
Last question. What would you do with 2 horses, a 6-foot pole, 2 midgets, 9 foot of rope, and a blowtorch? I asked Bango. Bango the Invictus Clan a long time ago, and I never got a good answer. So I'm going to ask you. What would you do with those things?
I would throw them away and shoot you in the head, you sick pervert.
You said they could be about anything.
Okay, I was hoping for more questions along the BDSM line, but I got this instead.
Okay. BDSM related. And quick, because we got 40 seconds.
It'll be fine.
Now, let me guess, you're going to cut that out.
Probably.
Yeah, more than likely. Okay. What would you do if somebody came at you with, like, remember last year how there was that one person called 3-hole fuck me?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody came up to you and said that that's what their kink is.
Mm-hmm.
That they want to live in a cage, beaten repeatedly.
Yeah.
You know, from that website. Well, from that screen name.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a screen name. Check it out sometime. What would you say if somebody came to you and said, I want to talk to you about doing something along these lines?
Okay, well, the thing is with that kind of submission, that's giving up everything. That's becoming a blank slate for someone to do whatever they want to, and up to and including probably killing you. Um, if you want to subject yourself to that type of abuse, that's your prerogative. But if you're going to do that, you need to look at the reasons why you're doing it. Are you doing it because this is what you truly want, or are you doing it because you're being manipulated into it? If this is something you truly want, are you sure you're ready to make that type of sacrifice? I'm not saying they're gonna kill you, but the possibility is there, because if they have no concern or care for your well-being, anything could happen. I don't find those types of relationships healthy for anybody. I mean, sure, you can, tell your master, I want to be used and abused and treated like a piece of meat for a scene. And that's cool because it's a scene and it'll be over. But I I don't mind it when people want to be a slave. That's fine. But when it starts crossing into, I don't want to have any concern
I
or
was in on
or
you.
care, that's when it kind of starts to bother me. So I would try to help them as much as I could, but there's not really a whole lot I could do, honestly.
All right.
Okay, so I hope y'all had a good time. We did. Drives me crazy, just like he always does. So we will see y'all later, and I hope y'all have enjoyed the Triple Threat Thursday. I will see y'all again soon, and say bye bye Sunday. Bye bye. Love y'all. Bye.